All right. Yes, we're day 3 of Anchorhead, so it's been a long time now since last Wednesday was the last stream. Um, so I remember we kind of ended when we were doing a whole bunch of stuff, which was great. We made a whole bunch of progress at the end of the stream, but I think there was a whole bunch of stuff we needed to do. And just looking at this map, we didn't explore the kitchen areas or the pantry. I think the kitchen went to the backyard, if memory serves. And I also think, I think we were just messing around with the attic and the crawl space. There seemed to be some sort of dizzy maze or something connected to the crawl space. And the attic, I think we were looking for something.
Hippo, you are like a grain of sand in the Sahara Desert, and I am the desert.
Thank you, Matt. Is that I always feel bad when Matt does what's obviously a quote. Sometimes it's, Hitman, Randy Savage, a lot of the time. But I feel like I should get these references, and I'm just not. Oh, Macho. Yeah. Macho Man. There we go. Wait, so it's Macho Man Randy Savage, not Hitman. Okay, so I messed that up, but it was Randy Savage. Hitman. I must be thinking of the Timothy Oliphant movie? Aren't the Hitman, which was based off the video game series, right? Oh, Rex, you're pregnant again. Oh, congratulations, Rex. Numero dos, huh? Second one on the way. Congrats. Hitman, Randy Savage. Hey, Steve. Oh, man. Thanks, Pat, for the cheers. By the way, I don't think you were here for this, Matt, but Gody came on the stream. Or no, I think you were here, right? When he commented, he's like, why do I see Matt's face? Because he saw you with the new cheers thing. You were the top cheerer of the week. So he saw you in the top of the chat window on Twitch, how they now have that. He's like, what do I have to do to get Matt's mug off of here? I can't stop having babies. It's like an epidemic. It's a plague, Rex. It's a plague. Congrats, Rex. That's awesome. Congrats. All right. Grumpy. All right, so let's get to it here. We have 12 points, too. On day 2, we went up from 2 points to 12 points. We're also on day 2 of 3 in the game, in Anchorhead. I don't know whether or not... I don't think we're Walking Dead. We didn't really do much of anything on day 1, but that could be by design, so I'm not super worried about it. We're definitely going to play it through. Yes, it's a parasite. That's true. But it could be a... well, do you think it's a parasite, or is it a symbiote? Symbiotic relationship or a parasitic one? Because definitely... the fetus is definitely benefiting from you. The question is whether you are actively benefiting from the fetus. Physically, you could argue, at least currently, that's not the case. So yeah, maybe parasite is correct. Maybe parasite is leeching all of your nutrition and such. If we're going to be strictly scientifically speaking, maybe you'll conceptually derive some benefit from this this arrangement in the future. But at the moment, that's not the case. There's nothing symbiotic about the parasite. All right, there you go. Oh, Matt. All right, so we need to... did we start the game timer? We did not. Let's start that. All right. So yeah, I think we got to go in the attic. Where are we here? We are in the attic. Oh, great. Okay. So let's just review our to-do items. We have a couple more keys we need for... Technically, we need the key for the attic door, but we have a fairly good idea that the key for the attic door is actually in the door itself. We just need to do the old classic puzzle where you poke it out of the keyhole and catch it on something underneath the door on the other side, and then pull it underneath the door. So we still need a flat object for that. Decipher the hieroglyphs, maybe. Oh, day 2, by the way. Once we leave the house on day 2, we have to go to the courthouse and the asylum. Definitely need to do that. We need a heavy object to break the church cellar padlock. We might have something. Let's actually look at our inventory. Do we have anything? Like something heavy that could do that? Strange metal flute? Probably not. Do we have a puzzle box? Probably not. Flashlight could be heavy enough, maybe. So we may or may not have that. Probably not, but we'll see. We have enough where we could try. Old tin, that could be heavy. Alright, we do have Michael's faculty ID, so we can use it at the library circulation desk. Paper mill gate, probably not. Whatever, it's not of immediate concern. We have to talk to a woman at Shanty 11, enter the lighthouse, interact with the tentacle monster. Oh, Michael wanted us to get him a newspaper at some point. Okay, now here's where it starts getting interesting. These last few to-do items here were things when we were examining the house. We found journals and diaries and all sorts of stuff that were telling us about the former inhabitants of the house, which I guess were the ancient relatives of our husband, Michael, something like that. So yeah, there was, I think I wrote something further down about the notes on that. Yeah, here's that find the flat object to get the attic key. We still need that. Something that would fit under the door, which could allow us to retrieve the key on the other end. We need the amulet to help us out in the Twisting Lane area, which we have reason to believe that's in the cellar, which we haven't yet explored in the house. And we also have to discover the... I don't think that's the secret entrance to the cellar. I think that's a secret entrance in the cellar. Obviously, I want to get that puzzle box open that we found in the vault. The vault, not the safe. There was a safe that we got open, right? And then there was a dizzy crawl space maze or something like that. Okay. I think what we determined at the end of the last stream, though, was that we did not have the item that we could fit under the door, under the attic door. Let me, in fact, look at the transcript to see... Yeah, I was putting stuff under the door. So, like, put room... The door is not flat enough. So something that you think would be flat, like a journal, is also not flat enough. I guess it's too thick of a journal. The soggy pages. I thought to notice, but I think that wasn't... It was flat enough, but not big enough. Yes, it does slip under the door easily enough, but it's not large enough to really reach anything on the other side. Right. Okay, so we still don't have that flat item that we need. Puzzle box. I think I tried pretty much everything here. It did not work out. Yeah, not large enough. Alright, so we still need to be on the lookout for that item. Gotcha. So we are in the attic. Okay. Should we give the crawl space another shot? I guess we should. Yes, we should. It's much cooler up here than the rest of the house, and you find it hard to suppress a shiver. Grotesque looming shadows crawl across the low slanted ceiling, and the dusk hangs thick and motionless in the air. To the west, the ceiling dips lower until the space beneath leaves hardly room enough to crawl, while to the north stands a wooden door, draped in shadows and half hidden by the slanting eaves. By the way, actually, you know what we should try while we're still here? We know we don't have what we need to put under the door to catch the key, but do we have what we need to poke the key out? Let's see this. The keyhole is dark as though blocked by something. Can we put finger in the keyhole? Your finger, though small, won't quite fit into... Oh, yeah. See, that's the other part of this. We need something to poke the key out. What do we have? Maybe a match could technically do that. Probably not what the game wants, but let's see if we can do that. Put match in the keyhole. It won't fit. Yeah, it's probably the other thing we need, actually. Broom, certainly not. The flute, I don't think so. Locket. By the way, did we ever open up the locket? I think we did. Wasn't there a photo? Yeah. Examine the locket. Is oval shaped, the clasp open to reveal a tiny picture inside, and not the jewelry box. Oh. Look at locket. Yeah, there's a tiny picture inside. How do I... Can I take the picture? Wait. Oh no, they think the picture is the jewelry box. What the hell? The jewelry box is empty. Okay. I guess we could put stuff in there, but whatever. Close jewelry box. Why not? I think we got something out of there. I don't remember what it was, but it's fun. I think it was the locket, actually. I think we got the locket in the jewelry box. That was it. Yeah. All right. I don't think we have what we need to poke the key out, do we? Umbrella? An umbrella spoke, perhaps? I mean, it's not going to work. We do have the cellar key, by the way. Won't fit, yeah. What about the pages? You could roll them up. They're all soggy. Kind of silly. All right, yeah. So we also need not only the flat object, but we need the, I guess, thin object to poke out attic key. All right, so we're going to need 2 items now. Not 1, but 2 items. All right, let's go west into the darkness. Pitch dark, you can't see a thing. I think we have a flashlight we can turn on. Flashlight emits a warm yellow beam. Why is it now a puzzle? It's 2 different boxes, BDR. So we have the jewelry box, which is a standard jewelry box. That's where we found the locket, silver locket. But there's also a puzzle box, which we found in the safe here, the library safe. And it's going to be a puzzle to get that open. Yeah, I don't think we've looked. We're going to have to look at that again. I don't remember what the puzzle itself was. All right, so we're in the crawl space. The ceiling descends here to no more than 3 feet above the floor, or from the floor. You're forced to crawl through the cramped darkness on your hands and knees. To the east, the attic becomes more spacious, while the northwest corner opens into an oddly angled corridor. So I think if we went northwest... As you make your way down the corridor, you begin to get dizzy, then nauseous. Lines seem to cross without bending. The ceiling becomes the walls, and the floor becomes the ceiling. Half blind, unsure even of which direction you were going in, you stagger forward and suddenly find yourself in a crawl space. So we just ended up right where we left off, and we can't go in any other direction. So there's something we need to do within the crawl space that will allow us to continue to the northwest. The problem is become dizzy and nauseous, right? Yeah. And then, which is odd. So maybe we have to take a pill or do something to sort of calibrate ourselves. Other than that, or we have to manipulate our surroundings, maybe. I don't think we have anything that would do the former so much. Oh, maybe this is the manual. Let's read the manual. What was the manual of wards and seals about again? Essentially, it's a textbook on the theory and practice of magical wards and seals, mystic symbols inscribed in doors and containers in order to keep people and spirits out or in. Oh, maybe the puzzle box is a magical container? Maybe. Very deliberately vague and arcane, in addition to being written in medieval French and translated into Middle English, making it nearly impossible to understand. The kind of thing they likely got many a scholar burned at the stake in those days. You're surprised to find that a page in this old and probably quite valuable book has been folded down as though to mark the place. The section marked discusses various methods of opening doors that have been sealed. Oh, this is just with the image of the pagan god, right. Speaking aloud the deity's true name will usually do the trick, apparently. So I guess we could just say Cthulhu or something. Talking to yourself. Oh, speak Cthulhu? Oh, they think we're saying that aloud. Or talking to myself. Say, what's the other one? Nylara Hotep or something? Oh, by the way, I got to post an image on the Discord. I found something interesting at the bookstore last night, I think it was. At Barnes & Noble. Radon in the house. What was I trying to find? Something about the book. Oh, here we go, yeah. Speak pagan god's name to open sealed door with god image. Okay. Yeah, so I don't think we saw a door with the god's image, so it's probably not relevant here. Yeah, I know I butchered it. I know. Well, it doesn't matter. We haven't seen it in game, so I'm not concerned about getting the spelling right yet. So we have a crawl space, we have the ceiling. Nothing special above you. Let's go to the floor. Nothing special at your feet. Corner. Corridor. Just trying to get any more information about this. Oh, It's difficult to look at directly. Your eyes keep crossing painfully as you attempt to follow the perspective of the corridor's lines. The corridor is quite long, and you can't see where it leads, even though it seems to go in a straight line. In fact, the more you stare at it, the less sure you are of even which direction it's in. Meaning it's not necessarily northwest, or... Huh. Can we, like, enter corridor? Probably the same thing. Yeah, okay, so it's the same as going northwest. Interesting. So oddly angled. Wasn't one of those Zork mazes oddly angled? Seems unfortunately familiar. Nylarahotep. Thotep. Nylarahotep. Thanks for the correct spelling every year. I mean, yeah, I this is not going to do anything, but we can at least rule it out now. Yeah, okay. Hey, how's it going, sir? Alright, so I guess we'll come back here later. We know, I think we had a to-do item that we got to figure out the Dizzy Crawl Space maze slash... Well, it's not really a maze. We should say corridor. I think we should say that. Morgan! 7 months of Morgan! At the tier 3 level. Thank you so much, Morgan. For 7 months. Thank you, Morgan. Appreciate it. Oh, good. And that time the Cedrics were added properly. That's good. All right. It's been working. It's been working. All right. So, yeah, I guess we'll try going... Should we go? Yeah, I guess we'll go back downstairs. We obviously don't have the items we need yet for the attic, and crawl space I don't think we're ready to handle yet, so... Oops. Let's go back to... I guess the kitchen. Do that. Go back to the attic, down upstairs hall, down up west, and then down west dining room, and north to the kitchen. Okay. And I think we looked in the kitchen itself, so we have doorways east and south, pantry in the northwest, back door goes out of the house. What is to the east? I don't think we know. The back hall. A short hallway connecting rooms to the east, west, and south. Okay. If you insist, we have a back hall. Where we can go, where? Wow. East, west, well, west we know. We just came from the west. East and then south. Okay, so we're going to have to probably... drag this out again here too as well. Alright, I guess let's just continue east. Gallery. A long oak paneled room with doorways to the south and west. Paintings line the walls, mounted beneath small shaded lamps that would illuminate the canvases nicely if only the electricity were working. Still, even in the shadowed gloom, you can see that all were done by the same artist. Alright, let's take a look at the paintings then. All of them are bizarre, and most of them border on the grotesque. Okay, we should make... That seems like something to note with their paintings here. Alien landscapes peopled by writhing, malformed creatures. Ancient temples built in strange, eye-bending architectures. Monstrous beasts crawling through shadows that cannot quite conceal their disturbingly human shapes. These seem to make up the bulk of the painting's subject matter. And yet, despite the fantastical nature of the images painted, the style is neither abstract nor surreal. In fact, the level of detail approaches the photorealistic. Excruciating attention has been paid to light, shadows, and textures. Even the alien creatures are depicted with gruesome anatomical accuracy. It is as though the artist had worked from actual living models, rather than from what must have been a thoroughly deranged imagination, and the overall effect is rather chilling. One scene in particular catches your eye. Yeah, this is the house, Rex, that our basically was inherited by our husband, who basically long lost relatives he basically didn't know existed. That's, you know. If there's one thing I'm not a huge fan of with respect to the stories, it does seem kind of... I mean, I guess it's Lovecraft inspired, and again, I don't know Lovecraft, but it just seems like the same, you know, the same setup for the movie or the horror story that you've heard thousands of times. So it doesn't get great points for originality, but obviously it's executed very well with respect to the writing and so forth. Oh, I did not do that, classy fellow. You're right. Thank you for the heads up. I'll do that now. Yeah, I obviously did not have computer access for basically the whole month of March. Well, I guess I did have on Thursday, but I didn't stream Thursday, so yeah. Thursday was I was working late then. Thank you though. Appreciate flagging that. Yeah. All right, updated that. Cool. So yeah, let's see what the scene in particular that catches our eye. Oh, we don't. It said more like, oh, we're waiting with bated breath what the scene was going to be, but I guess we actually have to look at it. A madman, clad only in a filthy, ragged loincloth, his thin body covered with dirt and sores, dances wildly on a precipice between two massive metal pillars. A precipice between pillars. Interesting. Filthy, ragged loincloth. His long gray hair whips about his face in an unseen wind. Behind him, beyond the precipice, violet clouds seethe and roil. He seems to be playing some strange sort of wind instrument like a flute. Oh, we have that strange flute. Making the whole scene look oddly like a macabre Jethro Tull album cover. You shake yourself suddenly and realize you've been staring intently at the painting for minutes on end. You step back and rub your tired eyes. When you look again, however, the picture you were just examining is no longer in front of you. None of the other paintings have moved as far as you can tell, but that particular scene seems to have disappeared without leaving so much as a blank space on the wall. So if there's not a blank space, is there just wall, or is that the blank space? Okay, so clearly this should be a clue here, specifically about how to use the flute. Between two massive metal pillars, apparently. And we can get our Jethro Tull on. Any fans of Jethro Tull in chat? I have some interest. We have Loincloth Man, played flute between two metal pillars. That might be a hint of where we need to do it ourselves. Can we look at the wall? You needn't worry about that. How about the blank space? Can't see any such thing. Look what else was there. Oh, you have an album. That's something to hear. Nice. Oh, so do you, Nico? Nice. Not a huge fan or anything. Yeah, I'm not either, but just curious. We have lamps here. Oh, that aren't illuminating anything. The lamps are made of polished brass with frosted green shades, like an old-fashioned desk lamp, only mounted on the wall. And we can't take the lamp. But what about the, oh, that's like the lantern. Never mind. Alright, so, if we look at the paintings again, now there isn't anything that gets our attention. Here's the question, though. What if we just played the flute here? Would that blank space be replaced by some gateway to something or other? You blow an open chord into the little flute, and it resonates with an eerie metallic warble. The sound lingers in the air for a moment, and gently fades away. Okay, so yeah, we have to... I guess we're gonna have to wait till we find some pillars. But yeah, he had gray hair and a dirty loincloth, and he was on the precipice between the two pillars. So, we've taken note of that, but yeah, I guess we'll have to wait till later to play that. Alright, so I think we could go south or back west here, right? There's nothing else to... yeah. Alright, let's go south to the sitting room. So yeah, we're gonna have to move all this stuff around here. I have to make a room for all this stuff. I hate when it wreaks havoc with the line work here. Annoying for sure. This I don't... no, this should actually connect with... We still probably don't have enough room here, so this should be moved down. There we go. All right, we're in the sitting room. Hey, how's it going, Joey? Yeah, I haven't not played Grim Fandango, but again, it was one of the options on the Windows Special. Though. By the way, how are we doing on what is the command? Followers? How many followers do we have? 12 before. Okay, so yeah, we're actually a little more than 40% of the way to the 1,500 followers special. Also, one at 150 games. We're about halfway there from the last one because we're at 124. And then the next one, we'd also have a 3-year special on mid-September, mid to late September. I have to remember the stream anniversary of the challenge. All right. Anyway, so we could have maybe 3 more, maybe second half of the year. We'll see of 2018. On pace, perhaps, for that. Yeah. Please, no Grim Fandango spoilers. Since I haven't played that, and that chat could vote on that, so we'll see. All right, sitting room. The east wall is occupied by a beautiful antique sofa, and a large hand-woven rug covers the hardwood floor. The huge marble fireplace in the north wall helps complete the impression of comfort and warmth, and for a moment or two, you can almost think of this place as somewhere you could live, as opposed to merely somewhere others have died. Yeah, that would be helpful. The foyer lies west, and a doorway to the left of the fireplace leads north. All right, so we do have a few items of interest here. We have a fireplace, we have a sofa, and a rug. Some of these may not be that important, but we'll figure that out soon enough. Your brief sense of comfort quickly drains away, however, as you become aware of the icy and maniacal stare emanating from the great portrait hanging over the mantelpiece. Under the malefic gaze of those red-rimmed eyes, the most comforting thought you can muster is that of immediate flight. On the sofa is a family album. Oh, wow. There's quite a lot going on here in the sitting room, for sure. All right, let's check out the album. It's a slim hardboard volume in dark leather, unadorned except for name Verlac, that's the name of the family, embossed on the front. Glancing at the title page, you notice 2 details. 1, the book was self-published, and 2, it was published in 1944. So it's a good bet that Edward Verloc and his family aren't mentioned here. I guess they're post-44? A subtle movement from the portrait makes you turn. For a moment, it seems like the eyes are looking directly at you, but it's only a trick of the light. Sure, just a trick of the light. Yeah, material. All right, let's definitely take the album. By the way, so to refresh our memory, who are the relevant family members here? We have, well, Michael's our husband. I thought I had this written here. Oh yeah, here. So Edward is the family patriarch and perhaps in the murder. Right, he killed his wife and children. I'm gonna have to refamiliarize myself with the Verloc lore. I think William was the son who was. Oh wait a minute. I think Edward was the brother of William and Julia. We don't know the name of the father necessarily. Edward could either be the father or the brother of William and Julia. I think he's the brother for some reason. But William was like the mentally handicapped son who was locked in the attic, being like a monster type of deal. And then Julia, we think, was his diary sister. I don't think that's been confirmed, but it seems likely that she's also the sister that had the diary that was talking about William. Yeah, pretty much PDR. Wouldn't be surprising if that's something we have to do. All right, so we got the album. Should we read the album? Let's open it up. The book contains portraits and brief biographies, although strangely no birth or death dates, on some 200 members of the Verloc clan, from the central family figures to the distant second cousins. If you want to read about someone in here, you'll have to look them up by name. Oh, okay, so now we're not going to get answers about Edward, but maybe these other people we might. By the way, let's add in the portrait here, since that's like freaky. All right, let's look up Julia in album. No mention of it's Edward's wife. Oh wow. Since the book was published in 1944, and she probably wasn't even born yet. Even so, you're uncertain whether Julia Ward would have even counted as a proper Verloc. Wow. So she was killed by Edward. So is William the son, or I'm confused? Let's see. You cannot find that name anywhere in the album. Subtle movement. Okay, it's the same description. I guess let's look at. Well, they said Edward wouldn't be in there. Yeah. Okay. He probably wasn't even born in either. So maybe the diary sister is not Julia then. So she's the wife of Edward. So she must have been killed. Was it her death that precipitated our inheriting the house? Edward killed the family and then himself? Something like that? I think it was something like that. Who else do we know in the Verlacs? We looked up Edward. Can we look up father in Alva? I don't know what his name is. Can't find that name anywhere. Yeah, we don't have any other names. That's the problem. I mean, I guess we have Michael, our husband. I don't think he would be in there. No mention of Michael in here, which isn't surprising since he wasn't born until 1973. Oh, so Michael's only 24. Yeah, we're young newlyweds. Even so, Michael is such an extremely distant relative, it's doubtful if he would have been in this book, but in any case. Is Claudia Benson in here? Is she somehow connected to the family? No, she is not. Okay. Alright, I don't think we have any other names, unless, can we read the journal and... I don't think we see any other names here. Oh yeah, people were believing he was the child molester. But this must be the father of Edward then. Right, he's gonna find the entrance in the cellar. The clues in their names. Pestilential procession of name. And then he's starting to address Julia. Interesting. Yeah, that's right, classy fellow. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you with the time-based stuff. Or real time, at least. It is very nerve-wracking for sure. Yeah, and here's where they're talking about the molesting. So it sounds like the sister, or the daughter, was molested by the father. The father wrote the journal and then said people were accusing him of being a child molester. This diary is by the sister. Oh, we don't know her name, I guess. Like poor little William, which I guess she's referring to her brother. She sings to him. My dear baby William. Oh, my baby. Oh, so William is her son, maybe. Actually, I might have misread that then. So, the father is the grandfather. The molesting father is the grandfather of William. We need like a better family tree here. And then in 1961, will not allow him to do to Edward what he wanted to do to William. Oh, so maybe Edward is also her son as well, her like second kid. Maybe that's it instead. Okay. Huh. So the diary sister might be the mother of Edward and William. We don't know her name or the name of the molester then. Father or grandfather. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Probably at the library we'll get better information on all of this. Let's check out the portrait. The man in the portrait is the apotheosis of everything cruel and inhuman that you've ever laid eyes on. His archaic Puritan dress would indicate that he must have lived a very long time ago. Perhaps he was the founder of the Verloc family in this region. If so, it's no wonder why they all wound up murdered or mad. The red-rimmed eyes. Oh, we've heard that before. I think that was in the journal, right? Glaring down from his gaunt and haggard face seemed to blaze with a terrible insanity. There's nothing regal, fatherly, or dignified about this portrait. It is the essence of raving, gibbering evil captured on canvas. Yes, they are the eyes from your dream without question. Okay. So yeah, we had a dream about some... I gotta go back and see what the dream said. The old twisting lane found only a blank wall. That's like when the that loincloth dude disappeared. Without the amulet, how can I resist bottles? He's looking for the thing in the entrance. Dreamed of father again, dreamed of grandfather. Horrible red-rimmed eyes. So that must be... He's referring then to the Verlac patriarch, who's the same guy in the portrait. Maybe he's like the ancestor. So if he was the father or the grandfather of the molesting guy, who then was in turn the grandfather of Edward. Huh, okay. Interesting. Can we lift the portrait? Or look behind portrait. Let's see, because it's like a false eyes and stuff. The portrait doesn't move, it's firmly attached to the wall. Okay. Feel the eyes. Nothing unexpected, okay. Now there's also a sofa here. It's a 19th century William IV style sofa with wild, flaring armrests and beautifully scrolled mahogany woodwork. The upholstery is a soft, faded wine color. Sit on sofa. You can't sit on the sofa? Why not? Anything underneath? Nothing of interest? Behind? Nothing of interest, okay. What about the armrests? Woodwork? Upholstery? Nothing. Alright. What about the rug? The rug has a rustic quilt-like pattern to it, and it covers all but the outer edges of the hardwood floor. Okay, can we lift the rug? You lift one corner of the rug and look underneath, nothing but dust and floorboards. Okay. Move rug. Rug is too heavy to move by yourself. So there's nothing else. Dust and floorboards, okay. Alright, can we roll up a rug? I only understand you as far as wanting to roll the ceiling. Roll a rug, not... No, okay, we can't do that. Just for looking at, apparently. It doesn't seem like the rug and the sofa are that interesting as it so happens. We do have the fireplace, and then we have the portrait above and the mantle. The portrait gazes down at you with crimson-edged malice. Okay, what's the deal with the fireplace? The fireplace is carved from beautiful dark-veined marble, a strange shade that is not quite a deep forest green and not quite a murky, dusky red. Marble, huh? That's an interesting color. Wait, so it's not quite green and not quite red? So, what? Interesting, alright. Can we look in the fireplace? Is there a fire going or what? Nothing of interest. Maybe we can put a fire in there. Light fire in fireplace. Can't see any such thing. Yeah. Enter the fireplace. Doesn't matter how much or how filled with Christmas spirit you are not going up that chimney. Damn it. Can we look up the chimney? Nothing of interest in the complete manual of wards and seals? Huh. Interesting. Can we follow the eyes? Alright. So if we go north, we're back to the gallery. Makes sense. Alright, let's try going west to the foyer. Hopefully that also connects with the back hall, because that would make sense. The foyer. Although it appears spacious from the outside, the house's interior feels cramped and gloomy. The walls seem too close together, the ceiling is too... Wait. Oh. This connects to the... What? What? Okay. So this is the foyer where we've already been. What if you go north if you're... north goes to the back hall. Okay, so we're gonna have to... Definitely gonna have to redo portions of our map here. So all this stuff was the upstairs, which makes sense. That was the second floor, but... In the case of the attic, like the third floor. You gotta make room, though, for the first floor stuff. This should just go there. Okay, and the attic wasn't even connected properly. The rest of this is alright. Wait a minute. No, it isn't. We got 2 libraries here. We got the house library and then the town library. Those kind of running into each other a bit here. All right, and this needs to be back up here. Yeah. All right. So if we're doing the foyer, so this stuff is like back here. So as it happens, this connects there. Should not be dotted. Line style should be clean. Okay. Can we sort of move that over? No, whatever. Makes sense of it. So I don't think these guys need to be quite so far away. There we go. Alright, so that's a little bit better. It's basically, we're talking about a much smaller first floor here than we had previously thought. Okay. East, west, and south. Alright. We go south, we go back to the foyer. I didn't realize that the foyer, it does lead in several directions. They just didn't say what the directions those were. Doorways lie to the east, west, and north. Stairs lead up. Okay, so we got everything from the foyer. Alright, so let's go back to the kitchen. So before we go outside, let's go try to find this back to the cellar. Oh shit, we've left our flashlight on this whole time. That was a mistake. Alright, let's just restore back to the original kitchen. Let me just see what I have here in this safe. I think the last item that we picked up, puzzle box. We have that? Oh no, okay, so this one is not good because this is before we went back upstairs. So yeah, we do want the latest one in the attic. Alright. What was the one we picked up? The family album. That was the one we picked up after the puzzle box. Really? It's an album with just one song? Can you really call that an album then? Alright, attic. We need to go down, west, down, east, I suppose. Take the album. Read the album. It's from 1944. Yeah, there's no birth or death dates. Or maybe some of them live on in sort of monster-like Cthulhu form or something weird. Yeah, let's look at that scene again. Whoa, whoa, we got a different scene this time. A group of white men in Revolutionary period clothing taking prisoner a group of Native Americans. The exact situation is unclear. The white men stand around with muskets threatening, while the natives, who are chained together, file into a fenced enclosure as though being herded into a compound of some sort. In the extreme background at the far end of the enclosure stands a large brick building. Dark, rainy smoke billows up from 2 stone chimneys rising above the structure. Getting very close, you can just make out another group of natives being herded into the structure by more of the white men. Almost sounds like a concentration camp. Something awful. Oh, it's 45 minutes long? Wow. Shake yourself suddenly? Yeah. Is this the sort of thing where if you go back, there's a new scene every time? Yeah, it is. Wow. A somewhat Boschian scene depicting a line of naked, emaciated men, their ankles shackled and chained together, shuffling forward. It's like Hieronymus Bosch. To offer obeisance to the glowing maw of an enormous furnace. The men are malnourished and covered with terrible burns. The foremost is kneeling, offering, something you can't make out what, up to the mouth of the flames, while the rest stand as far back as they are able, their heads bowed in what appears to be fear and penitence. It isn't clear where this is supposed to be taking place. Beyond the fiery glow, there is nothing but soot-filled Stygian blackness. An artist's rendition of hell, perhaps? For some reason, you were reminded of old photographs, of the Nazi death camps in which Jews were forced to feed the ovens with corpses of their own. Jesus. And they had the same sort of themed imagery with the Native Americans as well. Huh. So he was offering something to the burning flames. Weird. Okay, we should put that on like the paintings that we're seeing. Native Americans entering brick building with 2 chimneys. We also have the offering to furnace / hell / Nazi death. Yeah, okay. I guess we can continue. How many do we think there are? Yeah, this is the Native American one again. Search the paintings thoroughly. Cannot find the scene you saw earlier. A strange scene showing only a clergyman staring down into the pages of a large black-bound book. The point of view is that of someone standing beneath the pulpit looking up so that the text of the book is hidden from the viewer while the preacher's face is clearly visible. He seems to be caught in a paroxysm of terror, his face livid, his lips stretched back in a gruesome rictus, his eyes bulging wide and shot red with blood. Red-rimmed, perhaps? The cords in his neck are rigid and taut, as though he were straining to tear his gaze from the page, and yet he still grips the edges of the pulpit with whitened knuckles. Huh. We have preacher forced to read book. Yeah. Looks like he's under some sort of hex or something, preventing him from doing that. A young apprentice butcher learns his trade in a slaughterhouse. The older man, heavy-set, thick-jawed, and sloping brow, holds his cleaver above a severed calf's head, looking expectantly at the boy as though demonstrating the proper technique. The boy, holding a smaller cleaver of his own, looks on attentively. It would be reminiscent of something by Norman Rockwell, except for the frankly alarming amount of gore. The aprons and faces of both master and apprentice are streaked with blood. Blood pools on the chopping block and overspills the gutters. Blood drips from the walls and from the skinned carcasses that can be seen hanging in the background. The 2 butchers stand ankle-deep in reeking abattoir. And there's something wrong with the boy. Most of his body is hidden behind the chopping block, but there are details about the parts you can see that don't seem to fit quite right. The arm holding the cleaver is slightly misshapen, for example. The finger is deformed in a way that you can't quite make out. And his neck seems just a bit too thick, and his head seems just a bit too large and blocky. His face looks normal enough, except that it seems to have been placed just slightly off-center, with a very subtly disturbing effect. Weird. So we have the, I guess, like, malformed butcher apprentice boy? Huh. Yeah, I know. You should cower in fear, Nox. You should. Alright, let's take a look at one more. Okay, so this is, again, the offering to the Mauve the furnace. Oh, hell and such. Okay, and we got the clergyman. All right, so we got a few different ones there, at least 5. All right, let's go back to the pantry. Turn on flashlight. It's empty save for a layer of dust on the shelves. A door to the south leads down to the cellar, or you can return to the kitchen to the southeast. All right, this time we're going to go down. Seems to be locked. Okay, we do have the cellar door key, so this should work. You do unlock the cellar door. Okay, great. Go south. To the, you descend the gloomy steps into the dank cellar. which I'm guessing we need a flashlight for. Might actually have to put this here because it might be a mapping into itself. The old flagstone walls gleam with unwholesome smelling moisture, and the sagging timbers creak uneasily above your head. Ancient frayed wiring festoons the ceiling like some strange species of clinging vine. Portions of the cellar extend south and east into the clammy darkness, though you could always beat a hasty retreat up the stairs to the north. One large bundle of wires leads down to a rusty old fuse cabinet bolted to the far wall. Alright, let's get a save in here. Cellar. Let's check out the wires. Hell in such. The wiring runs back and forth across the ceiling in every direction, wrapped around timbers, in and out of rusted, broken conduits, crossing and recrossing itself in a dozen places. You can see several places where the insulation is cracked or stripped altogether. It's enough to send any self-respecting fire marshal into conniptions. There is also a fuse box. It's an ancient, clunky metal box about the size of a kid's lunchbox. There's some sort of lettering on the cover, but it's too corroded to read. Oh, that's unfortunate. Huh. You sure we can't read lettering? Most of the paint is worn away, and what's left is obscured by rust. Presumably it's a diagram showing which fuses control which areas of the house. Oh, interesting. Alright, can we open that? Well, that makes sense. It is a fuse box. Alright, let's open that up. It takes some grumbling and some tugging and finally a good sharp yank, but the cabinet finally pops open. Okay, look. Let's look in the fuse box. Can't see any such thing. Look in fuse box? No. Look in cabinet? There's about 24 fuses lined up in there, the old-fashioned kind that look like round glass plugs. Last one of them is blown. Oh boy. So we might have to find a new fuse. Right, to get the electricity working in the house again, of course, yeah. Sure. You pull one of the fuses out and try to rub some of the grime off. Sure enough, the little metal strip inside is melted to a black, twisted cinder. With a sigh, you plug it back into its socket. Alright, so we gotta find, maybe, some, we'll add that as a to-do item. Find replacement fuses for cellar fuse box. Restore the electricity. Okay, what else was here? Anything? Timbers, we have walls. Yeah, the large bundle of wires. The ancient worm-eaten beams are bent like bows under the strain of holding up the huge rambling house above them for centuries on end. Every few minutes, one of them gives out an ominous groan as the weight on them settles. Hey, welcome, Zerg Hug Party. Zerg. We needn't worry about the walls. Okay. Alright, so say we could go south and east. I guess we'll go east first. Ooh, we have a wine cellar. This wing of the cellar is even older than the rest, with walls of piled, unmortared stone. The entire room is filled with wine racks. They cover every wall except for the one spot to the west where an exit leads back to the main cellar. All of the racks are dust-covered and empty except for one against the north wall, which contains some 40 or 50 dark bottles. Hopefully they're bottles of wine and not something worse. You are reminded of something Michael told you during the long drive up, about how when the police arrived after the shooting, they found the wine cellar in a shambles, nearly every bottle thrown to the floor and shattered, and the whole place reeking of rotted grapes. All except the bottles in the north rack. None of those had been touched. No one could posit a motive for it. Yeah, I have power. That's true, Glitch. I have the power now. And now I gotta get power to this mansion here. You smile a bit, recalling your husband's ability to turn a piece of insignificant trivia into a compelling story. Still, though, now that you're actually standing here, it all seems very strange. Thank you, Glitch. Appreciate it. It is nice to be warm again. Row after row of smooth, dust-covered glass. The wine inside is dark and murky, reminding you somewhat irrationally of blood. Can we take a bottle? Strange, the bottles all seem to be fixed in place. They won't come out of the rack no matter how hard you tug at them. Can we break them? Violence isn't the answer to this one. Can we clean it? Your fingers leave clear marks in the dust. Oh. Dust the bottles? No? Okay. Interesting. We gotta do something with that. Can we open them? No? We can't even open them when they're in the rack, huh? Can we read them? Do they have any labels? The labels are faded and obscured by dust, but you can make out a few of them. Some of these vintages appear to be very old. I mean, which labels, though? Row after row of smooth, dust-covered glass. The wine inside is dark and murky, reminding you, yeah. Okay, so we got wine bottles. Now, some of them are smashed, but we don't know why. Interesting. Alright, by the way, if we turn off the flashlight, is it dark? Yeah, pitch dark, okay. Just wanted to confirm that. Alright, back to the cellar, we can go south. To storage. Now remember, we are looking for a secret entrance here, so it's quite possible that those wine bottles are part of the secret entrance somewhere. Maybe around that north wall there. Old crates and boxels piled high against the walls make this room seem even smaller and dingier than it actually is, which is saying a lot. A doorway lies north. The other walls contain nothing but shadows and dirt-filled corners. Crates. The accumulated junk of almost 4 centuries worth of one family's strangeness. Most of it is old linens, moth-eaten clothes, newspaper clippings, exciting stuff like that. There's far more here than you could ever go through, and even if you had the inclination to. Okay, can we move the boxes? Might as well leave it here. There's nowhere better for it. So there's nothing else here in storage? Huh. Yeah, I guess not much here. Alright, let's see if we can, if there's anything we could have done. Like, can we push the bottles? They won't budge. Pull the bottles. No, they're fixed in place. Grab the bottles. Alright, do we have anything we can do to interact with the bottles? Wedding ring, album, metal. We could play the flute. Why not? Maybe if we had pour the coffee in the bottles, that would be nice. Okay, nothing happened with the flute. Puzzle box. Yeah, what was the deal with the puzzle box again? Silver locket. Old tin. Okay, so the puzzle box is roughly the size and the shape of a cigar box, carved from some dark and oddly streaked wood that you can't identify. All 6 surfaces are decorated in a complex arrangement of grooves and panels, most of which are illustrated with leering demonic faces and obscene designs. As far as you can tell, it is in fact a box and meant to be opened, however you see no obvious way to do so. Put puzzle box on wine bottles. Putting things on the wine bottles would achieve nothing. Okay. There was something else I had that might have been of interest. What was in the flask again? Whiskey? I think it was. Yeah, yeah. Old tin. Dead and rusty. You can barely make out the word Skagen, Denmark. Put it along the slide. What was this? The fit? Oh, I think this was the. Wasn't anchovies. What was it? Fish oil? Is that right? I think so. Okay, and there's nowhere else to go here. So the cellar was actually a lot smaller than I had thought it was going to be. That could be because it's supposed to open into some other area. But we probably don't have what we need with those wine bottles quite yet, I'm guessing. Alright. Let's head back north. Back to the pantry. Kitchen. Alright, we can turn off the flashlight now. Oh, thank you, Aardvark. Yeah, I should do that. In fact, I had a note down here about that. We can look under, behind, in, at, for, inside, out, or through things. Ah, yeah, maybe looking through the bottles. go back to the cellar. Did we open the fuse box? I don't think we did here. Okay, northeast. Okay, and we'll pause it right there. And, well, yeah, buys are open if anyone wants to buy them. As we'll take a momentary break here. Glitched. 3 more poisonous Shinaras, increasing its lead over Bloodnet here at P1. Glitch also 3 guns for Eternam, which is perhaps Shannara's best way of getting into the Adventure Showdown. Gives Eternam 20 guns in the next showdown. Alright, I'm going to take a quick bio break, but buys are open in the meantime. I'll be right back. Again, I was not able to, no power. I didn't have access to the computer, so I did not work on the trailers, but don't worry, I am still planning to do that. I just got to figure out the best way to do it. So anyway, be right back. All right, thank you, Travis. Another gun for Edernam gets it up to 21. All right, let me just fix this. Okay. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing? We are resuming. That's what we're doing. Good boy, Rufus. All right. Oh yeah, let's just read this story again about the cellar, wine cellar. So there was the shooting. That's when Edward killed, I guess Julie was his wife, and then whatever kids he had. The wine cellar was in a shambles. Every bottle thrown to the floor and shattered. Maybe he was trying. You know what? I bet you he was trying to find that that secret area. You know, maybe that was it, and maybe it's through the wine bottles. And we can't move those; they're fixed for whatever reason. So probably we have to do something there. Anyway, we can look. Well, at the bottles, of course. So the wine inside is dark and murky. Can we like look through the bottles? There are dozens of bottles here. If you glance over the rows, but nothing jumps out at you as immediately odd. And we can't look inside the bottles. Right. Look behind the bottles. Nothing of interest behind there. Okay. And there's nothing under them. Or above. No such thing. Alright, let's take a look up here about the... I guess it was the tutorial. Oh no. Oh, this is the walkthrough. We don't want this. How to play, I suppose. Looking at things. Oh, look for. Oh, that's an interesting one, yeah. Maybe we have to say, like, look for entrance. Windows you can look out or through. And you can search containers and you can search containers and piles of stuff. Interesting, okay. I think we've seen things there, yeah. Alright. Let's backspace. Search bottles. Nothing jumps at us, okay. Look for entrance. Nothing of interest in the manual. Look for Cthulhu. I think it was the journal which was referenced, right? Bottles. Yeah, there you go. Wine bottles. So I wonder if we need the amulet? Is that only for the twisting lane? Or the bottles? And maybe the cellar leads out to the twisting lane. Turn the cellar upside down. Where is it? Oh, so he's probably looking... Is he looking for the amulet, or... Yeah, the entrance. The clues in their names. We can't read the names of the wine? Labels. Blood. So the keys are in their names. Edward, Julia. How can we search the bottles, though? It's weird. Racks. These racks must have at one time contained hundreds upon hundreds of wine bottles. Idly, you wonder which member of the family developed such a taste, for what would have been, for the first few generations at least, a sinful vice of the basest kind. Look behind the racks. Nothing of interest behind the wine racks. Okay. We're all into. Stand on the rack. Claire, climb the racks. You won't get very far climbing those, yeah. Enter the racks. They're not something you can enter. Stand on racks. We have stone as well. They're dark bottles. Maybe we can we shine the flashlight? Shine flashlight at bottles. Probably doesn't make a difference. I mean, that's how we're seeing them, I guess. Oops. Oh, I should be typing L for short. That's anyway. I'll do that. Oh, you cannot simply look for an object. I see. So that was a little bit misleading. I don't know why they highlighted that. I should really look rid of 4. Inside, behind, under, out, through, search. Get your hands dirty. Okay, so 4 is wrong. Should get rid of that. Alright. So yeah, I don't know. And we tried manipulating the bottles, pushing them, opening them, breaking them. Can we move the racks? Fine, racks won't budge. Okay. Oh. Do we have anything that might help us with this? I think I already tried playing the flute, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Over, under, around, and through. I must not have seen that Sesame Street. Alright, I think we'll come back here. We can't open the bottles. We can't, can't drink the wine, certainly. Oh, it's not even an object. It's just the racks or the bottles. Yeah, so we can't open them, we can't break them open, we can't move them. We can't, I guess we could touch them. Your marks in the dust. Can we dust them? Kind of. Clean the bodies. All the same thing. Clean the racks. They don't get much cleaner. And we looked inside them, but we can't see much. Yeah. All right. We'll come back here. We'll come back here. Hey, how's it going, Cor? Gratefully, you leave the clammy confines of the cellar behind. All right. So we wanted to let's turn off the flashlight. We wanted to test. Well, we want to see what's in the backyard or behind the kitchen. It seems to be locked. You unlock the back door. Okay, so it must be the same key as the front door. It's the house key. Path behind the house. What a great location. It is not dark. I remember the path behind the house. A gravel path starts here at the back door of the house. It marks a trail nearly overgrown by weeds and briars. It disappears into the undergrowth to the northwest, framed by crooked trees with overhanging... Why are you coming in with up, down? I don't want that, please. Plane. There we go. Overhanging branches that seem to form a stunted, jagged archway into the dim recesses of the forest. Oh boy. Be interesting. Briars. Need more about those. Weeds. How about the path? Need more about any of that. Trees. The woods are ancient, thick with undergrowth and full of shadows. Branches creak, leaves rustle beneath unseen, half-imagined footsteps, and strange bird calls echo through the trees. Okay, so branches are the same as woods. Alright, or trees. Try entering them, northwest. Stooping to avoid the sharp, bare twigs that snag your clothes and seem to reach greedily for your eyes. You pick your way through the undergrowth to a small clearing. Family plot. Old moss-limed tombstones, many broken off and leaving crazily like an old man's teeth. Poke up. That's a pretty good description. Poke up from the soft, mulchy earth. In their midst stands an ancient marble crypt, its heavy iron door nearly obscured by thick draperies of ivy. The trees press close around this quiet enclave of death, leaning together over your head as if sharing secrets. A gap in the undergrowth to the southeast reveals a narrow, gravel path. So we have a marble crypt. Alright. Bare twigs. Look at the crypt. Actually, I guess I should say excrypt. Grimly. Yeah, grimly. Grimly carved letters over the door spell out a single name. Verlac. It is indeed the family crypt. There is a door here with ivy. The same thing. The cold wind blows harder, tugging at the hem of your trench coat. The lush greenish-black ivy seems to thrive with an unwholesome vitality, as though its roots were drawing some gruesome nourishment from beneath the soil. The cold wind cuts through your clothes, chilling you to the bone. Can we open the door? It seems to be locked. Unlock door. You go through all the keys on your keyring, trying each one in turn, but none of the keys seem to fit. Alright, so we're also going to need a key to unlock the crypt. Crypt door. So that ostensibly leads inward, but we're going to have to get it open first. We don't have the key for that. Alright. Fair enough, fair enough. We do have tombstones here. Years of neglect have left the tombstones in bad repair. The ones not broken are eroded to near illegibility, and those not eroded are covered with thick, sticky moss. From what you can make out, though, most of them are servants' graves. Family members were most likely buried in the larger structure in the middle of the clearing. Oh, also known as the crypt. Makes sense. Okay. We do have some moss. Can we take some ivy with us? The ivy clings tenaciously to the side of the crypt. Climb the crypt. Seems to be locked. What? Climb the ivy. Tough as it is, the ivy isn't strong enough to support your weight. Alright, so we can't do that yet. Alright, at least we saw what's there. So what do we want to do next? Let's take a look. We obviously need to find a bunch of keys. The only other item we got after the, I think the only item we picked up today is the family album. That's clearly not going to be flat enough or narrow enough. We could try breaking the padlock, certainly, because we got a bunch of stuff. We can go to the courthouse and the asylum. So there's plenty of stuff. Yeah, maybe we should leave the house for now and we'll come back later. I think so. I think so. Okay. Let's do that. Family plot. There's nowhere else where to go, right? Yeah. Okay. East, south. Can we search the luggage? I don't think there was anything, right? Yeah, you didn't want to meet. Okay, unlock the door. A cold, noiseless draft coils through the narrow entrance hall. You shiver, wondering where it came from. Indeed. Okay. We're back outside the house here, down here. Yeah, I guess we go southeast to the scenic view. And then we're gonna make our way, so before we, because I think the asylum and the other place, the courthouse, are just gonna open up a lot more stuff. Let's go to the churchyard first. Deserted Lane to the churchyard, southeast here. Let's see if we can break that padlock. I mean, we have some things, probably not what we need, but enough to try. With tin. You can't get in a good blow with the old tin, you need something heavier. Okay, so heavier than the tin. Probably tin is hollow, it's true. How about the flashlight? No, still something heavier. Break padlock with the jewelry box? Yeah, we probably don't have it. Puzzle box? What else do we have? Manual. A broom. That'd be hilarious if you could break a padlock with a broom. Family albums could be pretty heavy, depending on what it was. Yeah, okay. So we still don't have what we need for that. It was good to check in though, since we had so many new items. Lantern. Yeah. All right. What's next? Could go back to the library. Sounds good to me. Back to the Riverwalk here. I kind of want to check out. Let's check out the vacant lot. Is there any? Maybe there's an update on that mattress situation with whoever's living there. Old man dressed in dirty rags sits on his mattress, muttering to himself as he stares intently out to sea. Yeah, it's the guy. Okay. Almost, dude. This pitiful creature might once have been a successful and healthy man, but alcohol and mental illness have dragged him down irretrievably into degenerate squalor. His clothes are filthy tatters. His hair is a matted, knotted mess. His body reeks of booze and urine. He sits on his mattress, seemingly oblivious to you or the rest of the world, and that's where he'll stay until either death or the next drink comes around. The old bum is clutching a small object to his chest. He rubs it and turns it in his hand constantly as though it were some sort of relic or charm. Ooh, it's hard to tell, but it appears to be a key. Interesting. All this stuff is broken. That's the good news, nothing did break. I wonder if this is even the amulet. It's probably a key to something we need. Maybe the crypt, who knows. It's a small copper key. Mine! The old man hisses, clapping his hands onto his chest as though you were about to frisk him for it. It's mine and I won't let it go. A flurry of dead leaves goes skittering along the ground, swirling past you in the wind. Interesting. Can we talk to the man? I wonder what he might want for it. A tin of fish oil, perhaps? What do you want to talk to the bum about? Talk to bum about the key. The old man squints at you with bleary, cunning eyes. Don't know too much about that, he quavers. Memory's not what it used to be. I'm so thirsty, miss. So thirsty. Okay, so yeah, if he does drink booze, we do have a flask of whiskey, so we might try that. Let's save, though, before we do it. Give. I wonder if they know trade, but let's just try an easy one. Give flask to man. His eyes burning with greed, the old man snatches the flask from your hand, unscrews the cap, and tips it up into his waiting mouth. Trickles of pungent brown liquid ooze from the corners of his mouth as he swallows convulsively, his hands trembling, his eyes squeezed shut, and streaming tears. Finally, he falls back onto his mattress with a beatific smile on his mud-smeared face, the flask dropping from his fingers. Your score has just gone up by 2 points. How about that? Okay, very nice. So we might be able to get the flask back as well as, and I think it would still have 2 drinks left, maybe. Yep, we got the flask back, and then can we also take the key while he's passed out? Oh, shit. Can we talk to the man about the key now that he had the drink, or? No, he won't let it go. Shit. Maybe we've got to have him pass out. Look in flask. Oh no, he drained the flask. It's now empty. Oh fuck, man. So we got points, so we know we needed to do that, but he's not really giving us much in the way of progress here. Now he still has the key. Let's talk to him about his mattress. Can't think to anything to say about that for the moment. For shame. See? Anchorhead? The old man covers his face in his hands. Not to town? He cries. Not to town? A hive of burrowing insects. A swarm of maggots they are. He looks at you slyly. But they can't find me when the maggots come out. They can't find me in my hidey hole. Oh god. That's not disturbing. He is a hidey hole, huh? Talk to man about hidey hole. Oh, look at this. I can't believe hidey hole is actually a term in the game. Oh, so this must be the metal door under the bridge. That makes sense for a bum especially. The old man leans close to you, and you turn away to avoid his rancid breath. Underground, he whispers, giggling. Underground I goes, where they don't know where to look. Got me a key, I do. He holds up a small copper key, then jerks it away and hides it in his clothes. I lock the door behind me, and I'm gone. So I wonder, would he talk about this if we hadn't gotten him drunk? Howdy-ho, neighborino. Should we let's talk to him about door. No. Bridge? No. And still the key he won't. He'll just say it's mine. Yeah. Shouldn't we? I feel like we should have traded it. Him the. The bum perks up. More whiskey? He asks greedily. Will you settle for a can of fish oil, perhaps? The old man stares at the old tin blankly, not sure what you want him to do with it. Okay. You already have the... Oh, I already have the tin. Yeah, I mean, would you want some cold coffee? You know, it's just as good as whiskey. Day-old cold coffee. Yeah. Apparently he isn't overly fond of cold murky. Hey, if you're a bum, you take what you can get. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how that helped us. Hold on. Let's restore back to before we had the 2 points. I mean, about the hidey hole. So it did get him chattery, huh? I see. So for him to even talk, you have to give him the flask. Okay. Are you sure we can't do trade flask to man? For key? You don't know trade flask? Okay. Alright, alright. So it seems like we gotta do that. Okay. And then we, yeah. So I was kind of lucky to just say Anchorhead, because... Heidi ho. So I wonder if we could, like, stake out the door or something. Underground, maybe? Yeah, it's the same thing. Alright, let's save. I have merely scratched the surface of evil. What was the one where they told me what my points break? Oh, full score. 2 points for giving the bum whiskey. I mean, I hope we didn't need to use the other... Because I think it had 3 drinks in it. And we only used... We didn't use any. I'd hope we didn't have to use the other whiskey for something else. That would have sucked. Huh. Okay. So I'm kind of curious, if we go to the hidey hole... we're under the bridge. Can we, like, wait here? Like, how is he gonna come? Maybe we gotta do something to make him go to his hidey hole. I think I tried before to do something like that. Okay, so we we found the key for here. We just need to get it now. Get from Bum. Something tells me we gotta like follow him in there. I don't know. If we just waited, he's not gonna show up. Nah. Seems to be locked, indeed. Yeah. All right. So maybe we just wait for him to pass out in the vacant lot. He's not passing out now. I mean, can we get more whiskey and get him drunk? Maybe we should go back to the bar. Try to get him pass out drunk and then steal the key from him. Key quest. Yeah, we do need a lot of keys, don't we? Or he'll stay until either death or the next drink comes around. Oh, we can kill him? Done. Alright, what do we have? What do we have to kill him? He said he's waiting there until death comes around, so happy to oblige you, sir. Kill Bum. The poor man. This poor man's life is miserable enough without you adding to his injuries. Oh. Push the man. Accomplish very little. All right. So I guess we gotta get him more drinks. I guess we can try going back to the bar. See what that'll do for us. Damn it. Oh, look at this. A damp newspaper lies on the curb, fluttering slightly in the wind. That's the newspaper we made it for Michael. You pick up the newspaper. It's the weekly Arkham Herald. Anchorhead apparently is not large enough to warrant its own newspaper. A flurry of dead... Oh, right. Dead leaves. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, that was some progress because we wanted to get a newspaper. I mean, what's the date of the newspaper? The front page story is about Jeffrey Greer, 8 years old, who was abducted from his home at 11 Milltown Road last night. Wait a minute, that was the Shantytown woman, wasn't it? I think it was. Little Jeffrey is the latest victim in a series of abductions that stretches back for years, one every 6 months or so, and that authorities believe is the work of a single perpetrator. Local police had hoped to prove that Edward Verlac had been behind the kidnappings, thus the child molester, but were unable to obtain a confession or any hard proof, so that's why they didn't arrest him. Edward Verlac was convicted of murdering his wife and 2 daughters, one of whom was 15 months old, in January of this year. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity and incarcerated in Danvers Asylum, where he remained until committing suicide last March. So he committed suicide 2 months later. His latest kidnapping, occurring after Edward's death, seems to have cleared up any lingering suspicions that he might have been the culprit. Could have been a copycat. Regardless, though, we have learned a new name here, Jeffrey Greer. Yeah, we have a name. Even though he's, yeah, Jeffrey Greer. Kidnapped. Kid. He's 8. Alright. And then we have a little bit of a timeline here. So he did have 2 kids. I guess Julia was his wife. We don't know the name of the 2 daughters, though. One was like an infant, or I guess not an infant, but a baby. 15 months. Anyone possessing information regarding the whereabouts of Jeffrey Greer is strongly urged to speak to the authorities as soon as possible. Yeah, I'll see what we can do there. In the meantime, we have to go to the bar and get some more whiskey. Arrow Street. Yeah, north into the pub. Can we, like, order whiskey or something? Not a verb I recognize. Buy whiskey. Regrettably impossible. You left both your purse and your wallet in the car. Where the fuck is our car again? It broke down somewhere? God damn it. So we can't buy any... We don't have any money to get whiskey? Give flask to bartender. You won't get much of a response. Shit. Oh, it is bootleg and rock cut, so maybe we have to source our own. Scheisse. Not gonna get anywhere in here, are we? Shit. Alright. Let's see if Benson showed up, the real estate agent. The office door is open. I guess we left it open. We do have the telephone and the answering machine. Is any updates on the answering machine? You can hear a fly buzzing around, hovering over the back of your neck. Kill the fly. Oh, right. We heard that before. Okay, play message. Okay, it's the same message, huh? Yeah, same one. Verlac. Listen to fly? Can you hear a fly buzzing around somewhere nearby? I just can't see it, but I can hear it. Play the flute. I was hoping it would respond somehow. So is there any way we could do something? Oh, maybe we could attract it? Maybe we could attract it with, like... Trap it in a cup or the box or something. Maybe. Would it go on coffee? Probably not. Put cup in box. Put cup in jewelry box. Okay. Put jewelry box on desk. Wait. I was hoping to attract... I don't really have anything. I need something like sweet, right? Don't flies like sugar or something? I don't really have anything that it might want. Maybe the fish oil. Would it be attracted to that? Probably not. No, this was kind of silly to try, but anyway. Alright, can we look up something else? We should definitely put something there, because it seems like that's important. Fly we have as well. I guess maybe like catch fly? Catch fly in office. Alright, let's file when we have a few more things here. So let's look up Julia Ward. Don't find anything filed under that heading. Look up William Jeffrey Greer. Edward Verlac. Nothing even Edward? Huh. I think we already tried like Danvers Asylum and such. No? Too bad. Well, it's like a real estate, right? So you'd think they would only have like buildings? But what's the name of the place we're staying? I don't know. File is empty. They're hardly portable. Someone raided that file for some reason. Benson. No. Alright, we'll come back. Let's go to the library. Oh, we're at the junction. Library, okay. Yeah, we want to go to the circulation counter, see if there's any information there. Circulation desk. We have a register and a bell. Can we read the register? Oh yeah, we can look up people in there though. Don't find that name. Or that one. Or that one. I did find Benson though. Yeah. J. Arnsworth Fraser. Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's ring the bell. Ding. We have the, oh yeah. Let's get our other ding here. There we go. A moment later, the gaunt and fishy-eyed librarian emerged silently from the shadows behind the counter. So the problem here before is we didn't have the ID. So let's show the ID to librarian. The librarian looks the card over, nods slowly, and hands it back to you without a word. Okay. So we can look up stuff, or what? How's this work? Ask librarian about Anchorhead. She just looks at us. Well, we should be able to check stuff out, right? Oh, yeah. So maybe we want those books. Let's look at Benson again. Can we just get the books that she got? Check out... How do I refer to these long titles? Fraser? Take Fraser. Miskatun Valley Region. Ask for Miskatun Valley Region. The librarian purses her thin fishy lips at you. Apparently she only lends out library books. Okay. Borrow them. Not a verb. Oh, you don't know. Borrow. Request. Lends out. So I tried borrow. I mean, lend me. Should I address her? Librarian. Lend me Miskatun. Or take book. Oh, I just took the manual. Shit. How am I supposed to interact with this woman? Talk to librarian about book. Okay, here we go. Which one do I mean? I mean all three, I suppose. Mechanics of metempsychosis. Yeah, that's correct. You did understand me as far as wanting to talk to the creepy librarian about mechanics of metempsychosis by C.C.H. Horn. Take mechanics of metempsychosis. I can't see any such thing. Look up mechanics. Look up Horn. God damn it. Alright, hang on. Maybe that somewhere here. Communicating with others. Ask about. Didn't I try that? I can show, give. Or here, maybe I say, librarian, give me X. Okay. Librarian, give me mechanics. Wordlessly, oh, finally, we got it. The librarian retreats back into the shadows, only to reappear the next moment carrying the book you requested. Dutifully, you sign the register, and the librarian hands you the book before disappearing again. Okay, let's read that book. Mechanics. According to the author's foreword, the term metempsychosis means the transmigration of souls. That is, the reincarnation of a soul into another's body. The book, which was published in 1922, is an examination of various traditions' explanations of how and why this happens. The author's tone is very matter-of-fact. It's unclear whether he's approaching the subject from the standpoint of a mythologist or if he actually believes in reincarnation and is evaluating the various theories based on their scientific validity. Flipping through the book, you find the passage that has been highlighted. Among tribes with a strong ancestor worship tradition, one often discovers the quaint notion that one may be reincarnated as one's own descendant. Oh, so that's Edward Verlac got possessed by the ancestor? Or, I guess not possessed, he was reincarnated. Asking such people whether they must share a single body with the spirit of their ancestor, inheritance, or if they themselves are in essence their own grandfather, identity, is generally futile. Among primitives, concepts of self-identity are poorly defined at best. Often there exists no word in their native language to express the idea. One can assume, however, that the primitive tribesman's conception of the situation is probably closer to the latter option. Otherwise, over the course of generations, one would have to contend with dozens of ancestral spirits fighting for room within a single body. Closer to the latter option being they are their own grandfather. Got it. However, the theory of identity also begs the question, how far back does the chain of reincarnation go? One could conceivably be dealing with a tribe of first men present at the day of creation and renewing themselves over the eons with each succeeding generation. So yeah, this would explain why the ancestor that we saw in the photo with the red-rimmed eyes was later like his own grandfather or grandson or whatever. So he came back later and then killed everybody as Edward. But then he was also Edward's grandfather who was like locked William in the attic and everything, and then molested the daughter. I'm my own grandpa, grandpappy. All right, what were the other books here we wanted? Yeah, Righteous Invasion and Endful Transduction. Librarian, give me Righteous Invasion. I'm only allowed one book at a time. Fuck you, librarian. Alright, give mechanics to librarian. I'm my own grandpappy. Betty-eyed, I don't care what you have to say about no singing tunes. Wordlessly, the librarian takes the tome from you and spirits it back to the shadowy depths of the reserved stacks. Librarian, give me Righteous Invasion. Jeez. Ring the bell. Its full title is The Righteous Invasion, A History of Indian Settler Conflicts in the Colonial Period by Warner Green. It's a slim volume published by Miskatonic Press in 1943. According to the introduction, the book's purpose is to give an objective account of the social and economic factors which led some of the early American colonies into violent conflict with the tribes of the Northeast, concluding with a transitional discussion about the Indian policies which took shape early on, evolved into Western expansionism and the idea of manifest destiny. The author, reflecting the more conservative decade in which he wrote, tends to paint a more sympathetic picture of the European side of the issue than would be fashionable today, but all in all, it seems an intelligent, thoughtful analysis. Glancing at the table of contents, you notice that there is a short chapter on the Misquat Indians. Curious, you flip to the page. Okay, that seems like something. That's like a term to look up. Misquat Indians. What was the other thing? Metaphysics, metamorphosis, metempsychosis. Yeah. The fate of the Misquat tribe, states the author, is an enigma which may never be solved. Diplomatic relationships with the original River Valley settlers seem doomed from the beginning. Documents from the period paint the tribe as aggressively pagan, degenerate savages. Nevertheless, Crocius Verlac. Oh, so that might be the grandpappy? Or at least one of the ancestors. Grandpappy. Crocius. I guess he might be that ancestor with the red eyes. He managed to hammer out a peace treaty of sorts with the tribal leader, and the two groups led an uneasy coexistence for over a century. The exact circumstances which led up to the Battle of Quatak Bend in 1772 are unclear. That's another thing here. Quatak Bend Battle. One document makes mention of an uprising, although since as far as is known, the Misquats were never in a subservient relationship to the Anchorhead settlers, the use of this term is more puzzling than revealing. In fact, no evidence has yet been discovered that corroborates the notion that the Misquat Indians initiated any sort of hostility whatsoever. What is known as this, the Battle of Quadic Bend, took place in the dead of night. It was led by Croesus' descendant, Heinrich of Verlach. Okay, maybe he's the more relevant guy then. Heinrich Verlach. Descendants. And fought by some 20 town men who crept through the woods and ambushed the small tribe during one of its holy ceremonies. There are no lists of casualties, although the diary of one soldier tells of many prisoners being taken. There is no mention of where these prisoners were kept or what was eventually done to them. Yeah. No known document makes even the vaguest allusion to the Misquat Indians after 1772. From that date onward, the tribe effectively ceases to exist. And that's the year that they were attacked here, right? The Battle of Quadic Bend. Interesting. Did Heinrich Verlach check anything out of the library? All right, that was for fun. What's the name of this book? Righteous Invasion. All right, what was the other one then? Hey, don't take up that carpet there, Lucas. Oh, too bad. All right, we also have the Lord Weldrake, the Enful Transduction. I guess she still has that historical overview, huh? Maybe. Enful Transduction. Librarian, give me Enful. Okay. This is a very thin volume, more of a tract than a proper book. You notice with some interest that it was published in 1918 by Miskatonic University Press, though who Lord Weldrake was, you cannot begin to fathom. Even without a background in physics, you can immediately tell that this is nothing but the pure pseudoscience. The author claims to have made startling advances relating to a heretofore unknown medium through which energy can travel. As far as you can tell, he performed no actual experiments. His entire thesis is built on extrapolation from his own creative reasoning. One bit near the middle has been marked with a highlighter. Having established the existence of the n-space medium, we can then reasonably posit the existence of a special wavelength capable of traveling through that medium. We will call this form of energy, appropriately enough, n-rays. Due to the fundamentally extra-dimensional nature of n-space, n-rays cannot logically be located at any one point of the electromagnetic spectrum. They instead exist at every point along the spectrum, traveling perpendicular it. To it, maybe? Naturally, the practical ramifications of being able to transmit extra-dimensionally are dwarfed by the theoretical implications. Good grief, you can't help thinking. What drivel. Alright, so we have n-space and n-rays. I don't know if that's really a thing, but we'll make note of it. Okay, give n-space to librarian. Fold. Alright, so the other one I wanted was the historical overview of superstitions. J. Arnsworth Fraser. But I think that's the one that Benson has checked out. What? I can't remember why I think that. But. Oh, look at this. Okay, that was the book we wanted. Our score just went up 2 points. Awesome. Why did I think that this one wasn't available? I don't know. All right, anyway, apparently this is the only one that really matters. Our score just went up 2 points. I need the superstitions. Read superstitions. As you open the book, a slip of paper falls from its pages and flutters to the ground. Take the paper. You pick up the slip of paper. Someone was apparently using it as a bookmark. There's some writing on one side. Read paper. Slip of paper, newspaper, or typewritten notice. I mean the slip of paper. It says, born... Oh, That's right, Michael had this book. He was reading this one, right. And it was also checked out by Benson. Born died same date. Have to check records. The handwriting is unmistakably Michael's. Alright, so the question is, who was he talking about, right? Billy Carter? No, you're Jimmy Carter. You have your own brand of peanuts, Matt. You're a peanut farmer. What more can I tell you? Okay, let's, we did this. Now, we need to say, find out who Michael wants to look up with birth/death date. So it's really one. He says they're born and die on the same day. It's either the infant who died at birth, or it's like some sort of Cthulhu reincarnation gambit. Alright, let's finally read the book, though. Superstitions. Oh my god. From the table of contents of a historical overview. Introduction. A thick and weighty tome, its full title is A Historical Overview of Superstitions in the Miskatonic Valley Region by J. Arnsworth Fraser, published in 1906. It begins. Although New England has always been an abundant storehouse of American myth and folklore, the Miskatonic River Valley has long been recognized as particularly fecund ground for tall tales and fanciful superstition. Legends abound of hideous, inhuman races living within the venerable hills, of pagan rituals enacted at unholy burial grounds, and dedicated to ancient blasphemous gods, and continues along the same lines in the typically dry and bombastic style of those times. The Legends of Croesus Verlac. This chapter deals with the strange mythology surrounding the person of Croesus Verlac, the first of the American Verlacs, who immigrated from the Black Forest region of Germany in the early 1600s. He settled in the Miskatonic Valley and there helped establish the small fishing port soon to be known as Anchorhead. Croesus sired 6 raven-haired daughters and schooled all of them at home. The girls were reclusive and odd of habit, and by the time the eldest turned 15, the town had all but openly accused them of witchcraft. Townsfolk shunned the Verlac daughters and called them the old man's coven, although never within earshot, since Croesus was already a very powerful and influential man in that region. Although he never had a son, Croesus apparently sired a number of grandsons by more than one of his daughters, ostensibly... Oh, Jesus. So he fucked his daughters. Great. Ostensibly to keep the Verlac blood pure, such practice being not uncommon in the more secluded and xenophobic early settlements. However, most of the male children were born dead, or horribly deformed, or both, and there were furtive whispers that Croesus was practicing some sort of dark sorcery on his progeny. The fact that Croesus fell ill on the day that the first healthy male child was born, to his youngest daughter, and died before day's end, did not go unnoticed. Okay, so this was who Michael was talking about. So it was one of the kids. Okay. Do we know the name of that kid? The baby? After Croesus died, the townspeople turned against the coven, burning all of them to death except for Eustacia, the youngest. Oh, okay, we got another name here. Wait, so we need to check records for Croesus/Eustacia's son. Okay, we'll find out if we get a name on that in a moment. We have Croesus, we have his daughter was Eustacia. She managed to escape along with her should have run same line. Wilhelm was the son. Wilhelm, incestuous son of Croesus/Eustacia. Yeah, I know that's kind of going too long, but whatever. Wilhelm. What's his last name? Verlac. She returned some years later after an outbreak of smallpox wiped out much of the town's older population, including the Calvinist minister and every last man and woman who had participated in the burning of Verlac's brood. Press space. Oh, interesting. Rituals of the Misquat Indians. Little is known about the enigmatic Misquat Indians. They are believed to have occupied a small, unobtrusive area around southeastern Massachusetts, along the banks of the river which now bears their name. At the time that this book was published, various property disputes prevented any thorough archaeological investigation of the area. Information regarding this tiny sequestered tribe is therefore scarce and based largely on hearsay and folklore. Analysis of the only known fossil, a partial skull, has led some anthropologists to conclude that the Misquat were not indigenous to the region. One popular theory holds that the tribe is most closely related to certain degenerate branches of the northern Eskimo, and were perhaps driven from their original subarctic climb and forced to settle in exile in what would become the northeastern United States. Although precious few physical artifacts have been recovered, chief among them a pair of ritual masks and a crudely carved 7-holed wind instrument, perhaps the flute, maybe. Tall tales of Misquat ritual abound. They appear to have been a unilaterally reviled tribe. Most of the whispered stories involve horrid ululating chants around blazing bonfires. Is that like yodeling? Around blazing bonfires in the dead of winter night. Grotesque copulations performed in horror of bestial gods. And of course, abundant human sacrifice. The Misquat were generally known as child stealers. Oh, so that's whoever's stealing Jimmy Greer and friends. Jeffrey Greer. Creeping through open windows at night to perpetrate foul kidnappings. None of these claims can, of course, be verified. Nearly all Indian tribes encountered by the first European settlers have been subject to such prejudices at one time or another. It is known that the Misquat were most likely star worshippers and possessed what was likely a quite complex theology involving entities that dwelled beyond the bowl of tiny fires, their term for the night sky. These entities granted wisdom or insanity, bestowed prosperity or famine, according to how well or how laxly the tribe performed its ritual appeasements. The rituals attempted to contact or possibly summon aspects of these entities through elaborately carved beacons, mounds of stones or obelisks placed at significant geographical locations. We may need to conduct this ritual at the town obelisk here. And that's why it has that, remember that hieroglyphs? Conduct the ritual at town square obelisk. Beacons. That's a significant geographical location. And we were contacting or summoning, okay? The few eroded hieroglyphs left by them, there we go. Oddly, the Misquat were one of the few North American tribes to have developed a system of writing prior to any contact with Europeans, have proved a compelling but so far intractable puzzle for linguists today. Doesn't bode well for our chances of deciphering that. Further detail about their ritual and mythology remains yet a mystery. Something tells me we're going to find out more about that mystery as we explore further. Nox is still in the chat at least. Yeah, he might be away from the keyboard. Alright, the Dark Man and other aspects. Nearly all of the early European settlements circulated stories of a being known as the Dark Man that lived in the primordial woods beyond the settlement's borders. Deeply religious and at the same time almost hysterically superstitious, clinging precariously to the edges of an unexplored and therefore terrifying continent, it was only natural for people in those times to project their collective fears onto the unknown. For the predominantly fundamentalist Protestant sects that first colonized the New World, these projections typically were embodiments of the Christian concept of the devil. Wow. The Dark Man generally takes the form of a man, sometimes of large or even giant stature, but more often no larger than a natural human. He is invariably dark-skinned, although rarely described as a Negro. Most often he is Caucasian with jet black skin, thus combining the refined, cunning intelligence of the European with the base carnality of the African. Yeah, not racist at all here. He is regularly portrayed as the consort of witches. To be continued. For we have a buy from Morgan for Shivers. Shivers. Which moves ahead of Microsoft Adventure up to R2 on the raffle queue. Thank you, Morgan. That was winner of Morgan's DOS decision vote. Morgan also with 2 for Torrens Passage. That is her viewer pick. Moves out of Goblin's Quest 3 and Space Quest 6 to V68. And Morgan, finally, 3 guns for Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. Gets up to 35 guns. Oh, and here is Knox. To be scandalized. No doubt. What are the odds we can get our score up to 20 in the next 20 minutes? I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. But oh well. Drakeno, 3 guns for Chronomaster. Gets up to 20. Alright, we'll do last call. This will be the last opportunity for buys tonight. Actually, oh. Alright. Oh, we have Miria striking. 3 slots for Chin. Tomb of the Middle Kingdom. Moves out of Chronicles of the Sword, Dragon Sphere, and Dylan Dog. To V14. Oh wow, bunch of buys here at the end. Sting, 3 for Phantasmagoria, Puzzle Flesh. Moves ahead of Are You Afraid of the Dark and Will Slay. 2 Poisonous Shinaras. Moves up to V5 here. Deck Bash, 3 for Below the Root. Moves out of Twinson's Odyssey, Star Trek Next Generation, and Bad Mojo. To V7. And Aardvark, 3 for Bill Nye, not Bill and Ted's, but Bill Nye the Science Guy, Stop the Rock. Moves ahead of Worlds Apart, Blue Force, and Hugo 2 up to V74. There is a Bill Nye game, indeed. Ember Scene, 3 guns for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Gets 26. And Rex, 1 for Are You Afraid of the Dark? If not, you will be after we finish Anchorhead for sure. By the way, you know what's a good? That moves out of Phantasmagoria up to V5. So Phantasmagoria back down to V6 where it started. A good companion game to Are You Afraid of the Dark is Pajama Sam. No need to hide when it's dark outside. So no, we know at least Pajama Sam is not afraid of the dark. That's for damn sure. Alright, and with that, we'll close slots for the night. Buys. Alright, so we were reading the book, right. So this is The Dark Man? Yeah. I guess we should probably put that in our key terms list, huh? So yeah, topics or whatever. He's regularly portrayed as the consort of witches. He has many names: the Dark Man, the Grinning Man, Old Scratch, Spring Hill Jack, the Evil One, etc. But always his formal biblical appellation, Lucifer or Satan, is scrupulously avoided, a holdover from the tradition that to speak a demon's name is to attract his attention and perhaps even summon him. Right, which is with that, remember that thing about speaking the pagan god's name? But this might not be a pagan god. Well, could be. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, we should be speaking Lucifer or Satan, perhaps. He needs to sit his butt down, read some Goosebumps. I'll see how he feels. Maybe he will be afraid of the dark. More interesting to the folklorist are the names that harken further back than these simple Christian superstitions. Yeah, here's the more pagan. That's what I was waiting for, because we know Lucifer is more of a Christian sort of thing. More pagan portrayal of the dark and the unknown. These tales, which originate from the more reclusive colonies, often bring about the more animalistic, nature-worshipping aspect of the dark man. He is sometimes pictured as being covered with hair or having hooves instead of feet, resembling classical images of Pan. His names are more obscure: the Wicker or Wicca Man, the Black Goat with 1,000 young. Goaty. Therein lie tantalizing clues, offering the enterprising folklorist still deeper glimpses into the collective unconscious. A few rare instances of the Dark Man have been uncovered that point beyond even these antiquated references, bizarre aspects that seem to reflect some of the less understood concepts of Native American mysticism. Such Baroque names as the Lurker at the Threshold or the Watcher Beyond the Stars point to a substratum of human mythology as yet untouched. These versions typically describe not physical manifestations, but rather abstract concepts of evil and time that some scholars have linked to the pre-Roman god Saturn, before he became characterized as merely the father of Zeus, when he was instead identified with the Ouroboros dragon, devourer of worlds. Hopefully, as more archaeological evidence is uncovered, we will be able to speak of these primordial connections with greater confidence. Okay. The Strangling Mist legend. Rather unique to the lower Miskatonic River Valley. This tale centers around a seemingly malevolent fog that roams the forest and lonely night roads, choking the unwary traveler with invisible, untouchable hands. Which I think did happen to us when we were trying to get to the house. The experience of being attacked by this strange entity is described in an 1855 journal as like as though a dead man were to put his corpsey fingers down your throat with one hand and up your nostril with the other. Oh, just lovely. No two tellings can agree on the origins of this terrible mist. Some accounts insist that it is the spirit of the restless dead. Others attribute the effect to malicious hobgoblins, or just hobgoblins. Other versions implicate witchcraft, a pirate's curse, swamp fairy, the list goes on. Some of the more esoteric explanations seem to indicate that the legend was adapted by white settlers from native superstitions held by the tribes indigenous to the Miskatonic region. However, there is no evidence as yet that the strangling mist existed in any form prior to the appearance of Europeans. Probably right. True. I guess we can put strangling mist, but that's probably nothing. And also the next one, or the last thing in the book, the ghost train legend. Oh, we did hear, we heard a train whistle. Although actually that was from an actual train, if I recall. Yet another colorful folk legend involves the recurring image of a ghost train, a spectral locomotive that materializes from nowhere, glides across the haunted track for a short period of time, and then disappears as mysteriously as it came. Oh, maybe it was a ghost train, though. I don't know. We did see the train, though. In fact, our one death so far in the game was because we got run over by the train. This story did not originate among the first white settlers, of course. Obviously, it only came into being after the advent of the steam locomotive in our burgeoning machine age. Well, of course, that makes sense. Otherwise, you wouldn't have trains didn't even exist. The earliest known recorded version of the story, in fact, is dated 1882. Nonetheless, the legend provides us with an interesting example of how the collective unconscious adapts itself to changing aspects of our culture, cloaking old symbolism in the trappings of new technology. Yeah, we did get hit by a train. That's exactly what happened. What we don't know is whether or not it was actually a ghost train, however. Or just a regular train. Although many versions hold that the ghost train represents the ghastly echoes of a locomotive that was wrecked, derailed, and lost off a mountain pass is the most popular means of destruction. This is in fact a simplistic interpretation not seen until many decades after the myth originated. More intriguing and more useful to the folklorist are versions that explain the ghost train as a transport to the land of the dead, a modernized boat of Cheiron, ferrying damned souls across the shroud to the devil's newly industrial hell. These are the versions which most faithfully maintain links to the traditions of the past and demonstrate the curious evolutionary behavior of the myth. In some of these tellings, the traveling soul must have a ticket to present to the grim conductor, an element directly analogous to the ancient custom of placing of gold coins beneath the tongue to buy passage to the underworld. Living souls who ventured too near the tracks as the ghost train made its nightly sojourn would find themselves swept along, echoing the Celtic Germanic myth of the wild hunt, in which witnesses were compelled to join as either hunter or prey. Those who thus boarded the train by accident, madness, or mere foolishness were inevitably carried back to whatever eldritch dimension from whence the train originated. Tales of return voyages are rare and generally held by those who pass them along to be apocryphal. So I don't know. We were close to the train, but we just got killed. I don't think we, unless the train got originated in death, which I guess is possible. Interesting. I guess we're gonna keep these. If we're allowed to keep a book, I'm gonna keep this one. Because why not, right? Sounds good to me. All right. So we got about 10 minutes left. Let's certainly save because we got the. I don't think we did save, did we? No. We got to save with 16 points. So let's take a look at our to-do list. I mean, we could go into the. I'm a little bit leery of going to the asylum and the, because I think those are going to be a little bit more involved. The asylum and the courthouse. Maybe we can just quickly check out that northern area. Maybe, you know what, we could talk to the woman. Now we know about Jeffrey Greer. Maybe we can make some inroads with her. So let's leave the library. Oh, I'm not allowed to leave the library with the book? Oh, come on. All right, just drop the book then. Drop superstitions. Dropped. Now we can leave? Yes. If I go back, is it there? Yeah. All right, this way it's good because that way we don't have to go through the stupid librarian to get it anytime we want to come back to read it. So I'd much rather just leave it on the floor of the library and then come back for it when we need it. There we go, superstitions book. All right, so let's go leave. Yeah, Ted leaves. Okay. So junction, we got to know north of the Mill Road. Now the kidnapping happened at 11 Mill Road, which is where we had that woman who's all shook up. Now we know why. She was in the shanty town up here. We got heavy iron bars. Hey, shanty town. Knock on 11. After a moment or two of silence, you hear a furtive rattling, and the door opens a crack to reveal a woman's pale and haggard face. She stares at you with a mixture of trepidation and mistrust. Okay, so let's ask her about Jeffrey. I guess that's her son, maybe? The woman grows even paler and draws back from the door with a look of horrified loss. Suddenly, the woman slams the door shut, and you hear the rattle of a bolt being drawn. No. I mean, I tried to maybe console her. I don't know. Can we console a woman? Not a verb you recognize. Console a woman. Can we show newspaper to a woman? The woman glances at the snapshot of her son on the front page and tears well up in her eyes. Okay, can we ask her about it now? Ask woman about son? No. Okay, we don't want to... maybe instead of asking her, maybe we just talk to her. It's probably the same thing then. Yeah, same thing. Okay. Now we do know... let's read the newspaper again. Maybe there's something in here we could... Edward... well, we know it's not Edward, or... it's probably the grandson that... the authorities, yes. Well, I'd like to get some information from her. Look, flakes of ash drift gently down this... oh my god. That's probably a reference. Remember they said that there was that Nazi death camp situation? We've seen the ghost train. Every, like, bit of lore we're seeing evidence of in the town. Jeez. Ask woman about... what did we want to ask her about? Edward? She immediately shakes her head. Okay, so that means you probably didn't respond to that. You know anything about Cthulhu monsters? You're not gonna know about Wilhelm, are you? Yeah, she doesn't. Alright, Asylum, maybe? No. Dark man. Have you seen a ghost train go by? Wachak Bend. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. We still want it. This is her. I'm guessing she's the mother of Jeffrey Greer, but other than that, we don't know. Huh. Hey, Shikai. Yeah, it's going okay. It's interesting for sure. Unfortunately, they only give you points for some very specific things. Yeah, so this is what we're dealing with now, the woman at Shanty 11, whose son, we're pretty certain Jeffrey Greer got kidnapped. Alright, I guess we'll come later, but we gotta show her... do we have anything else we want to show her? We can't show her the book. We showed her the newspaper. We did want to check on the birth and death dates. Maybe we should go to the real estate records office. Anything else we want to show her? Family album. I don't know what you'd care about other than this. She's probably not gonna care. Yeah, she doesn't even look at it. Well, whatever. Alright, we'll come back. I don't know. Now. Let's just quickly check if anything was different here. The backwater. Great brown store of the lighthouse is closed. I think that's the same as before. We have the rocky spur. Okay, we still have that Cthulhu monster in there. I don't think we have anything we want to interact with it yet. Unless you went to Puzzle Box. Yeah, we don't really. Yeah, something scaly. Alright. We'll come back later. Bear Foundation, I guess we can just do a quick sweep just to see if anything changed from the day one that we were here. Railroad tracks, yeah. So, was this a ghost train or? We can't go northeast, too dangerous. Here's the whistle coming. Yeah, it lumbers into view. One of the many freights that run regularly along this route, though few stop at Anchorhead anymore. Okay, so we're about to die, but it doesn't look like it is a ghost train. And I don't think we can board the train. Not a verb I recognized. Enter the train. We're talking about several hundred tons of steel traveling well at for over 50 miles an hour. You do best to stand clear. Okay, so yeah. Stand clear of the closing doors. Just fine move. Alright, so it's not a ghost train. Unfortunately. Love me them ghost trains. Alright. Yeah. Let's do... Go back to this narrow street. Let's go back over across the bridge, I suppose. We do have the obelisk. Can we say, what are some of the gods' names? Dark Man? Whatever. Alright, let's just go. I guess you know what, before we go to the courtyard, because that's probably going to be more intensive, let's go to the courthouse. Okay, so we finally were able to access this. A long, dimly lit north-south corridor stretches away from the courthouse. From the courthouse entrance, closed, unmarked doors line either side of the hall. Their pebbled glass windows lit from within by a murky yellow-orange light. Silence reigns here. Your footsteps echo eerily on the tiled floor, and occasionally you can hear muted conversation behind one of the doors. You can't tell which. At the hall's southern end, a staircase leads down into the basement. A sign hanging above it reads Records. You can return to the town square to the north. Okay, so the Records is actually exactly where we want to be going. That's where we have a bunch of stuff to look up. Windows. Through the pebbled glass, you can see a light on inside, but nothing else is visible. Open the door. Seems to be locked. Which door are we talking about? I guess all of the doors? Probably don't need to worry about them too much. Oh, there is one. Listen at door. Listen to the door. You seem to hear faint murmuring noises, conspiratorial whispers, but you can't make out any words, and you're not sure that it isn't only your imagination. Interesting. They'll put doors there because that could be important, but for now we won't worry too much, and we'll just go south to the courthouse basement. Hopefully this is the records room of which they mentioned. A single bulb dangling from the ceiling casts a watery yellow light against the brick walls. A rickety staircase to the north leads back up to the ground floor, and two narrow doorways lead into the record archives. Oh shit, more words. Over the southeast door hangs a sign that reads Birth Records, while the southwest door bears the sign Death Records. Oh, so here's where we check the birth and the death. Yeah, I gotcha. Alright, whoops. Alright, so we're going to need to do southwest. It looks like we got room. Southeast is a little bit iffier. Sure. We need to create some more room here. Could we get away with just doing like these? Is this thing? Yeah, leave that there. No. Yeah, it didn't really help too much. So we got to go farther north. Just really, yeah. Or if you go like this, actually, it's probably better if we do something like that. More efficient. Yeah, that's better. All right. So we got birth, and we got, which one is southeast? Southwest. Southeast is Birth Records, okay. So this is where we want to look up that Wilhelm fellow, right? Oh, Wilhelm might be the same as William, huh? I don't think that timeline matches up, though, because William that we know, the mentally handicapped kid that was locked in the attic, he was in the 20th century, whereas the Wilhelm was from, like, the 1600s. It could be named after him. Alright, so let's go Birth Records first. A bare room with cinder block walls. Thousands of records and documents, most yellow and brittle with age, are stacked everywhere in towering piles. The exit lies northwest. All right, let's look up Wilhelm Verlac. What do you want to look that up in? Records? Search records for Wilhelm Verlac. The archives. What the fuck? Okay, he was born March 11th, 1651. Okay. So, born 3/11/1651. Let's check his death now. Oh, could we look up other people here? Might as well. It would actually give us some interesting stuff. Yeah, look at this. Okay, wow, okay. We can get some good, actually, intel here. I mean, at least birth and death days. Why not? Okay, where's our Verlac family here? Okay, so he was 6/22/1954 to... Oh, well, we'll get the deaths later. Okay, Wilhelm. I'm probably going to have to reformat this a little bit better now, but 3/11/1651. May as well look up everyone we have here. Cretius. Wasn't he born overseas? You searched in vain for a while before remembering that Cretius Verlac wasn't born in this country and would therefore probably not have any birth certificate on record. Correct. Heinrich Verlac. Yeah, he was 10/18/1734. Okay. Eustacia. Uh, 11/22/1634. Right, so she was the mother of Wilhelm. Let's look up Julia Ward. May 4th, 1964. So she was the one that got killed by Edward Verlac. April 26th, 1960. Okay, we still don't know what the name of the mother is, but anyway. Do we know the name of the other guy? We do not. Is there a Julia Verlac? It's probably the same person. Is she married? Yeah. Okay, so Julia Ward equals Julia Verlac. Alright. Sounds good. Let's go now to death records. Look up Edward Verlac in archives. So he's the one... Okay, right. He died in the asylum, which makes sense. That's what the newspaper article said. So we would expect her to have died in January 97? Yep. January 10th. Actually, I guess I should put century since that matters here. September 18th, 1958. I mean, it doesn't make sense that William was the older brother of Edward, right? But again, Edward is probably the same guy. He's his own grandfather kind of deal. Ah, shit. Archives. What else would... Oh, they're thinking I might look that up in the book, right? Okay, so he died 3/11/1651. Oh, right, which is the same day that Wilhelm, the incestuous son, was born. Which sort of leads credence to the notion that he would die on the same day that his grandson was born, meaning that he is the grandson. So Wilhelm was just continued to be... Oh, but he died on the same day, right? Isn't that what we're here to look up? Oh, no, he lived a while. Oh, okay. So... Oh, I think he wasn't looking up for one person. He was just looking to confirm that, yep, Wilhelm is indeed the... seems to be the continuation of Cretius. And then look at this. Heinrich was born the same day that Wilhelm died. So we can connect this evil guy, or whoever, god, or whatever he might be, demon. Cretius goes to Wilhelm, goes to Heinrich, and we can follow him through the ages. Okay, so he goes to 12, 16, 1802. So already we've gone from middle of the 1650s to already 1800. So we only have like another 150 years to connect. And maybe it probably connects to Edward himself, right? Because if we can find out the name of his father... Yeah, might have. Okay. Since we're here, though, we'll look up the women as well. Okay, she died 4/8/1686. All right, he died. We don't have a birthday on Crucius, but it doesn't. I don't think we need a birthday on Crucius because he was probably the first. That's his portrait, probably in the sitting room. All right. So we have death dates for everybody that we know names of. Yeah, I guess so. Unless did what's her name, Claudia Benson, die as well? I hope not. That's our real estate agent. Okay, good. No records under that heading. What about just Verlac in general? Will you return all results? There are dozens of Verlacs listed here. You'll have to be more specific. In my day, I wore bags of shoes at school. What? A parenting book. Glue their sippy cup to their high chair. Oh, Matthew McGrath. All right, so I think we checked the record. So that was a pretty good, I think, discovery of sorts. The question is whether we could. How are we going to show that information to Michael? Right? I mean, I guess we could just talk to him about it. Maybe that would do it. Do you think they would let us back in? I mean, we could try. Let's do a save here at the death records. And then I guess I'm already over, but let's just quickly go back to the house. I doubt we're going to be able to, but it's worth a shot. Riverwalk, Chile Avenue. Oops. Too steep in that direction. Northwest? Yeah, north. Go south. Up. I just wanted to... save. Beautiful. Michael's laptop sits in the middle of the desk, coming quietly to itself. Also on the desk is a letter opener. Although his computer's still on, Michael isn't here. In fact, you realize you haven't heard him anywhere in the house since you got home. You even found him a newspaper. Where in the world could he have gotten to? Yeah, Michael, what the fuck? Because we did find that newspaper for you. I should mark that as a done. Yeah, what the fuck? By the way, we never really got to read about this room. Hold on, where are we? Okay, study. We're in this room. The smaller room adjoining the library seems comfortable enough, although it is dusty and cluttered from not having been lived in for the better part of a year. Aside from the desk and the chair and the empty shelves, the only real feature of the room is the large ornate fireplace in the southern wall. A beautiful pair of mahogany doors slides west, sliding doors lead west to the library. And then we have his laptop. And a letter opener. Do we have the letter itself? Just the letter opener. Oh, the letter opener will be able to use the get key out, I would think. You pick up the letter opener. It's a rather ornate thing with a silver hilt and a slim, sharp tip. Oh, yes, just the tip. All right, let's look at the laptop. A top-of-the-line model. It's sleek, lightweight, and very fast. A real status symbol for the writer who wants to look as though he might stop whatever he's doing at the drop of a hat and suddenly hack out a bestseller. Well, you've yet to witness Michael do this. He really had been wanting one since before the two of you even met. So, to celebrate his new teaching position, you splurged and bought him one. The laptop is currently switched on. You can't read what's on the screen or anything? Yeah, was it in the gutter? I think it was just on the ground of the town square. The computer is in screensaver mode, blank except for a single window requesting, oh no, a 4-digit user passcode. You didn't think Michael ever used the passcode utility. Okay, so we're going to have to find out his passcode, huh? Okay, type in, or not type in, but find out Michael's 4-digit passcode. Could it be his birthday? Is his name Verlac, though? Is it? Could be. You should have looked that up in the birth records. Was he even born here, though? I don't think he even knew this family. Yeah. Like, if you just type... The computer beeps at you. Access denied. Frustrated, you wonder what Michael could have set his password to. And an important date, maybe? Oh, yeah, what date were we married? I think we were married in June. Yes. What day were we married? Or it could be his birthday, but... And I'm going back to the scroll back. It was June 97. Do we have a date in June? It could be just 0697, maybe. I don't think they mentioned the specific date. Ah, damn it, access denied. I mean, what could be more important than our wedding day, Michael? Don't be a jackass. We were in Texas. I'm just going back to the start of the script here. Oh god, a lot of this was all sorts of stuff. Looking at your report. Alright, we probably... I'm not going to be able to do this tonight, but... oh, wasn't he born in... Oh, we do know he was born in 63. That could be it, too. Because didn't... I remember thinking he was 24 for some reason. Alright. You got it wrong, Rex. You messed the wedding date. Where did I find that date? Aardvark asks. What, the wedding date? Or are you talking about Michael's birthday? For some reason it said he was like 20... I think it said he was 24, or it said he was born in... I remember thinking just earlier tonight, during the stream, there was something I'm like, oh, he's only 24. And I know the present day is 97, so I just worked backwards to 63. So it could be somewhere in 63. November 63? I don't remember where we found that out. Well, it's November right now, 97. I don't know if any just doing 63, right? Yeah. Well, what year was it? I don't know. Or what month? I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I'd have to go look back at the script. I don't remember why. Anyway, he's here. Was there anything else? The fireplace? The fireplace is carved from a beautiful dark... Oh, right. Oh, this is the same kind of marble? Yeah. We have polished brass spheres. You see the room behind you in distorted miniature, and your own face swelling and stretching comically as you peer into the sphere's reflective surface. Looking closely, you notice some smudges on the otherwise immaculately polished brass. Rub the sphere. Could it be a secret passageway? You polish the brass spheres until they gleam. Oh. Take the sphere. That's fixed in place. Push the sphere. Shit, I hope I didn't take away the fingerprints. It doesn't budge. Turn the sphere. The sphere twists clockwise a few degrees. There's a barely audible click, and the sphere snaps back into its original position. Suddenly, the entire fireplace slides about 18 inches to the left, with a hollow grinding sound revealing a narrow corridor in the southwest wall. Oh, shit. Shit's getting real now here. Damn it, I keep on wanting to end stream, but there keeps on being all this interesting stuff going on. Oh, unfortunate. Oh my gosh. We didn't get any points for that, did we? Well, I guess it wasn't that hard to find. What else was in the room now? There was something else. There was a desk. Ordinary writing desk with a small drawer which is closed. Open that drawer. You open the drawer, revealing cryptical Hermoniacon. Take the book. The leather covers are worn and cracked, the metal corner fittings tarnished, the page is yellow and brittle. Inscribed on the title page are the words Cryptical Hermoniacon, Manual of the Atonal Servitors, beneath what you presume must be the same words written in some strange, vaguely Arabic-looking alphabet. Maybe that's with the hieroglyphics? I don't want to read the book because that's going to be a lot of stuff. Well, remind me to do that on the next stream. We got to read that book. What else was there here? Yeah, that could be all night. We have the laptop. Can we take the laptop with us? Should be portable. Oh, there's a chair here as well. There's no reason to swipe his laptop while he's not looking. Besides, he might be working on something. Cop out game. Chair, just a straight back wooden chair. Okay. So let's go southwest. See what's there. Darkness. It's pitch dark and you can't see a thing. Turn on the flashlight. Okay. Narrow corridor. More corridors. Oh, jeez, man. The walls are bare wooden slats patched with crumbling plaster and spiked with bent, rusted nails. The passage, no more than 2 feet wide at its widest point, bends and twists at confusing angles, making it hard to tell which direction you're heading in. Oh, God. Let's just go back for now. Oh, and I can't. Fuck. Observatory. Shit. Did I, I didn't put a save in the other place. Fuck. I just wanted to check to make sure that the letter opener pushed out the key. And I never did a save. Alright, let's do a save here at the observatory. And before we look at the observatory, I'm just going to do one quick speed run because I just really want to confirm that... sorry, I know it's almost certainly the case, but I just want to confirm that... oops. Northwest. Back hall, south. I just want to confirm that that's the narrow object used to get the key out of the attic door. Okay. Take letter opener, and then we're just gonna go back to the attic. Oh, wait, up. Yeah, attic. Okay. Put letter opener in keyhole. The tip of the letter opener bumps against something, and you hear something clatter to the floorboards on the other side of the door. Okay, so that confirms that. So that way we can just give out 2 points because we did that to do item. That's all I wanted to know. We have that. We needed the thin object to poke out the attic key. That is done. That was the letter opener. Yes, suicide by train indeed, yeah. I wanted to see if we could get a death, and we got it, so I was happy. Let's just go back to the observatory. Just confirm we're still at 16 points. We are. We did get 2 points for giving the bum whiskey. So that's always good. That's always a nice thing. All right, so we'll pause it there. You don't think you see that death? It was a great death. You get warned several times, but we persisted and insisted on getting run over by the train. It was a glorious death. All right, so I don't know if I'm streaming or not tomorrow. It's probably 50-50, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, we will host up Retro Bladen streaming Equinox, which is the sequel to Solstice, the NES game, but Equinox is on the SNES, so we'll host him up. And we'll give a bonus Cedric here at the end of the stream. And yeah, that will just about do it. Or in fact, we'll do it for day 3 of Anchorhead. Only 4 points tonight on the stream, but I'm not really so concerned about the points because we did have good progress, right? We covered more about the mystery and did a lot more mapping with different locations, another secret entrance in the mansion, more goings on with Michael, and so forth. So we'll pick things up from the observatory. Thanks everybody again, as always, for watching, and we'll catch you next time right here for more Anchorhead on the DOS Adventure Quest. Cheers, everybody.